I am out again. Another beautiful Sunday. I'm going to say thank you again to Rhino Chiropractor. You did an excellent job yesterday. I actually ended up with like 26 miles instead of 18. When I stopped with you yesterday, I just ended up running 26 miles. So that's what I did yesterday. And I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. And this journey of life, because we all have different journeys in this life. And we do things differently. Chris, you and I have known each other for a long time now. And I appreciate you. Rhino Chiropractor. If you're in the Woodstock area, you might want to stop by and check it out. They do give a lot to what do I say? They give a lot to the community. Yeah, that's what it's all about for them. So they just started now. So that I just wanted to say I appreciate that. So anyone that gives, that just, for me, that's very important. When you can give, it shows that you are wealthy. And that you care about people. So I appreciate that. Rhino Chiropractor. So I ended up, like I said, doing 26 miles yesterday. I'm blaming you for it. I'm blaming you for my 26 miles yesterday. So just be aware. So yes, this morning I am I'm very relaxed in where I am right now. I am just truly grateful. I got to wake up again this morning and come out and actually just to be able to do what I love to do. And I think it's truly what I'll call a real blessing, whatever way you want to call it. So to me, especially that today is Sunday, I know a lot of people are in church right now saying their prayers and doing all type of things. And being the fact that I've also opened my mindset, my thinking, I acknowledge and honor every traditional belief, whatever it is that rocks your bro, I acknowledge it. As a matter of fact, I'm working on my non-judgmental skills. Sometimes it can be, because it can be hard sometimes, but I'm trying. I think the goal is just to try, and that's what I strive to do, to just try. Yes, just trying is the goal of it all. Just trying. That's all I care about, try. And that's what I'm doing right now. So yes, what's wrong with this thing? Yes. So yes, happy Sunday. I like the surrounding that I'm at right now. So I here this morning, got another 26 miles. It's really funny today how I started my day with what I usually do. I got up, started with my water, drank a little bit of coffee, then read a little bit. I'm trying to read more slow. As you can see, the rain is coming, so I got to try and get out of this cover. I'm trying to read a lot more slower and more of a comprehension. I'm really getting intrigued with the whole thing of the brain and science behind it. I like running in this secluded neighborhood. I like everyone else, we just have to think positive. So when I come over here and I'm looking at all these houses, I truly just see it as one of my own. My visualization of it, I just really see it. So as I was doing the yoga this morning, the meditation, and it's really funny. So what I did this morning was anybody that comes into my meditation, whether we're talking years or not, I text them and just say hello. It was very stubborn of me at first because I was like, no, they don't call me. But I come to realize as I sat there meditating that no, sometimes you just checking on people. It doesn't mean you want them to say hello to you all the time. Just say hello just to see their well-being. So I was able to find that courage. So I began to text while I was in that, and I just say, look, I don't want anything. I'm just saying hello. Hope all is well with you. And that's what I did, and it kind of made me happy. Then when I got outside and started running, I forced to start it because I ran 26 miles yesterday. I'm like, man, okay, let's bring back the 26 miles every weekend. So I've been doing them every once in a while when I think about it. So I ran another marathon yesterday. Guess I was just so excited after the adjustment. So I said, biscuit, let's just do 26 miles. So I began to do my running as usual. And I started to go back into certain periods of my life. And these are the periods of where I realized that things were my fault. And I was able to look at it, and what it does to me every time when those type of emotion comes to me, and I can look back and I can say, look, you see, this is what you did, this is what you did. It gives me a sense of relief because the memory is always going to be there, but just being able to accept our own, I won't call it wrongdoing, misstep is an amazing intersection. So I pondered that. I was able to laugh about it. Look at that beautiful house. I know one of my friends lives here. I just thought I wish they live here. This is the thing about not paying attention. I came here. I took a meditation class, and I don't even know where they live at. One of these places. So maybe one day I'll run into them and say, hey, I've been looking for you. I don't know where you live. So yes. So when I was able to do that, I was able to erase that memory at the same time. And it becomes such a laughter that, yeah, you were such a cowboy, son. Why did you do this? So then I stopped, because what I've been actually doing is really letting gravity pull me in everything that I do, whether it's the reading. I don't read fast anymore. I try to just stay with the comprehension. So when I'm running, it's the same thing. So I'll stop and do push-ups every 5 miles. Like I would do my yoga. 10 push-ups, do a yoga pose. In the middle of the street, but usually in the park. And I just keep it moving, and I'm like, wow. And I guess because of that, it keeps me limbo all the way too. And that's why I don't really get no soreness in my body. Plus, how I eat. Because many people, when they run 26 miles, they can barely walk the next day. So how I eat really, really just defines how my body operates. So 26 miles is not really a big deal. It's like a little stroll in the park. And I always say this, if a woman can push out a baby, you could do anything. Wish I knew this from when I was little, because I used to look at women like, yeah, they said that. No. A woman can push out a baby, because where a baby comes from just blew me away. Because every time I measure my own head, I tend to be like, what the biscuit? How did my head get out of there? But yeah, that's another story on its own. So yes, once I did that yoga and breathing, take that break, because the whole purpose of it is the push-ups and the opening of the spine every 5 to 8 miles. It relaxes me all through. So my yoga is pretty much all day. When I start and when I get into the running, when I'm on my feet, I'm just doing yoga, I'm doing push-ups. And I've come to realize that what it does, eventually, it builds your inner strength. And once you build your inner strength, because one of the hardest part of our body to build is that inner strength, that chi is right there inside of us, but it goes to sleep. So once you build that, it started to come out of your body. So, and that is what I've been doing lately. And that's how I'm able to come out. Like, for example, this month alone, I've literally run over 500 miles. I've done over 500 miles this month. So, and at the end of the day, I still just look at it just like anybody can do it. So yes, and those are the emotions that I get to go through. I get to deal with my emotions, reality. You know, everything that I deal with in my emotion is based on the reality part. Doing this allows you not to sugarcoat things for yourself. You are able to speak to yourself as you see it fit. And that's where the whole ideology of choice comes into place. And you are, at that moment, you have a choice on what you want to feed your energy on, how you want to treat people. All right, mate. How you want to treat people. So all those choices you have. So, and that's the reason why because I went through that period myself where, look at this bird singing. Let me see this. I like, let me see, this says, I'm going to read this. Let me stop. Say thank you for the problems for women. It's true. If you can push out a baby, one can do anything. Yes, and that is just so true. I wish I'd known this years ago. Probably would have been in good with the ladies. But I did not know. So yeah, it's funny. I met another young man yesterday. We started talking. He goes, well, how many miles you know? I saw 26 miles. Because I the last couple of miles, I took one of my dogs with me. And I'm telling you, man, these four-legged animals are just funny. When they see that you're not the type that exercise, they bully you around. But when I exercise with them, I run them to the ground. I'm like, Mother Biscuit, I don't know who you think you are. I make sure yesterday I was running with that dog. He literally fell on the floor. So I let him take his break. I said, you ready now? Get your biscuit here. So I began to talk to that young man, and he asked me how many miles I did. And I said, look, trust me, if a woman can push out a baby. Yeah, he said, when he saw where the baby came from, I said, yes, I definitely agree with you. I think it's something that we don't talk more about in our society. We hide behind our masculine thoughts of spiritual belief, and there is nothing wrong with it, but it's just that sometimes we have to tell the truth, and like I always say, I don't know anyone that all these enlightened beings that didn't come out of a woman. I have yet to find one who did not come out of a woman. So in a sense, there has to be a balance in certain things, and I think hopefully as the evolution, or shall I say, or whatever I want to call it, as it goes on, we are able to realize that, that equal opportunity. And I think sometimes it takes a lot of reading, a lot of intellectual talking. And that's the reason why even the churches has changed their formulas where they begin to have women preachers now. I remembered when I first saw things like that, I agree, women shouldn't preach, but I just think I'm just speaking on my part right now. It was all an illusion on my part. So that saying women shouldn't preach, I think it's all an illusion. And I think it's time that we all get in that game. And a lot of women, believe it or not, have been hurt because of it. Women go through so much discrimination that, just like being a brown person does, that when you begin to listen to some of these women, me just sitting there listening to them, I kind of just felt like, wow, this is the product of what I created. And I kept on wondering, man, what about if I have a daughter one day? And I think sometimes that can be one of the things that changes people, because sometimes us men, when we having that fun, it's almost like we forget that our mother existed, and we also forget that we got sisters, and we also forget that we can have a daughter one day. It is absolutely amazing how that transpired. I don't know, but it's just the delusional upbringing, which I would say a lot of it sometimes comes from religious teaching, because a lot of our religious teaching teaches things wrong about people of different colors and women. And until we all accept that and rectify it, because it's just a rule that people made based on their understanding, and there's nothing wrong with it, so that rules can also be changed. And it's just like the rules in everything. That's why eye for an eye, like somebody said yesterday, makes the world go blind. So, and those are the things that I just think about. On my run these days, I get real philosophical about things. I become very sensitive. Whoo, this incline is giving me, is whooping this money. I become very sensitive myself. I try not to do things to others that I do not like. And sometimes it can be very hard, but I just think it's trying. And it's all based on self-love. Because once you begin to love yourself, certain things you just do not want to do to people. And that's why I don't focus on so much on the bad things that goes on. I try to look at it as balance, because despite all the things that is going on in our community, culture, there are still good things that happens at the same time. And it all starts from being open-minded. So, biscuit. I've forgotten the book that I'm reading at the moment. I don't even know what to say again. So yeah, beautiful book. I'm hoping to learn from it even more. And what else am I going to talk about today? A beautiful, beautiful weather. I'm going to enjoy it as much as I can. Sunday morning is really fun because there's not a lot of cars about, so I can get on this little roads and just do my own sightseeing. I gotta admit, I'm talking about my own backyard. I'm not saying anywhere else is not pretty, but I gotta admit, Georgia is beautiful. I'm just talking about my own backyard. Everywhere is beautiful, but yes, Georgia is beautiful. You gotta give that. So yes, let me continue this easy meditative jog this morning. I don't know how many miles I'm gonna do. Because I'm really moving like a snail too. And I'm enjoying this wind just blowing on top of me and the steady incline. So happy Sunday. Shall I say, Cecilia? I've been practicing my American slangs. I will holler at you later. Alrighty. Over love.